All right, so imagine being ready to kickstart your surgical tech journey. You are excited to learn the skills, get certified, and step into the OR. But then, you look at the available programs, and that's when reality hits you hard. Classes 3 times a week, mandatory lab sessions on Saturdays, and now you are sitting there wondering how this is supposed to fit with your job, your kids, and everything else in your life. It almost feels like whoever designed these programs forgot that adults have real responsibilities too. Look, I get it. You were trying to build a career that helps you grow without putting your whole life on hold. But juggling work, family, and school can feel like trying to ride a bike carrying a week's worth of groceries. Like, that is impossible. Now, by now, you were probably wondering if there's actually a way to get quality surgical tech training without giving up everything else. Well, that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. Self-paced versus scheduled learning. Which one actually works better for working adults? Trust me, what I'm about to share might just flip the way you think about surgical tech training. So, make sure that you watch until the very end, all right? I am Landon from OR Insider, and I am here to show the fastest, most affordable path to launch your surgical tech career. So with all that being said, let's get started. All right, first, let's talk about what traditional college programs actually expect from you as an adult. Here is a typical scenario. You find a surgical tech program at your local community college. Classes are on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., plus those occasional Saturday labs from 9 to noon. Now, that might sound manageable at first, but here is what it really means for your life. You are expected to show up at specific times no matter what is happening at work or at home. You are driving to campus multiple times a week, and if you miss a class because your kid gets sick or you have to work late, you could fall behind quickly. Now, the curriculum moves at one pace no matter how fast you learn. And on top of all that, these programs could cost over $20,000. And let's be honest, for working adults, juggling jobs, families, and bills, that often leads to stress, burnout, and sometimes even dropping out entirely. You can see this play out in the struggles many adult learners typically face. Now, traditional scheduled programs often have higher dropout rates among working adults. And it's not because they lack ability or motivation, but it's because the system simply isn't built for their lives. And that is the problem. Traditional education was built decades ago for full-time students, not busy adults. Now, let's compare this with self-paced learning. Now, with a self-paced approach, you decide when, where, and how fast you learn. I mean, do you want to study at 5 a.m. before everyone else wakes up? Perfect. You only have time on weekends. That works too. But look, self-paced doesn't mean you are left to figure it out all alone. No. Quality self-paced programs still give you structure, guidance, and support. Now, the biggest difference is that self-paced learning actually respects your life. It adapts to your circumstances instead of just working around them. Now, look, I already know some of you might be thinking, but don't some people need the structure of regular classes to stay motivated? And look, yes, that is a fair question. And yes, some learners do benefit from external accountability. But here is what traditional schools don't want to admit. Adults already have powerful personal motivators built into their lives. If you were thinking about becoming a surgical tech, you were probably driven by things like earning more money and gaining financial stability, building a career you can be proud of, giving your family a better life, doing meaningful work in healthcare. Now, these motivators are far stronger than just showing up because you paid for a class. And look, the right self-paced program still keeps you accountable. They just do it in ways that actually support you, not stress you out and make you want to pull out your hair. But the thing is, not all self-paced programs are worth your time. Some promise flexibility, but fail to provide proper training that prepares you for your certification exam and employment. They might be affordable or easy to start, but if they don't get you ready for the real world, you have just traded convenience for wasted time and money. So I know what you're asking, Landon. What is the solution for busy adults who want quality training without the scheduling nightmare? Well, there is actually an approach that brings together the best of both worlds. The freedom of self-paced education with the structure and support of traditional learning. It is called the Preppy approach, a method specifically designed for busy adults who want to become job-ready as surgical techs without putting their entire lives on hold. With Preppy's approach, you get 100% online self-paced surgical tech training you can complete on your own schedule. a university certificate for your surgical training. You are ready for the NCCT Surgical Tech Certification, the TSC certification. It is one of the most recognized credentials that employers look for. Eligibility for an externship opportunity for real-world clinical experience. And all of that for just $1,599, a fraction of what traditional programs cost. Now, with this approach, you could be job ready as a surgical tech in as little as 4 to 6 months, without disrupting your work schedule, worrying about childcare, or wasting time commuting to campus. Now, just imagine being able to study whenever it fits in your life, early mornings, during lunch breaks, or late at night after the kids are asleep, while still receiving the top-tier training you need to launch your surgical tech career. Now, if you want to learn exactly how to get started with the Preppy approach, check out our detailed video on how to become a surgical tech. Now, in that video, we'll walk you through a clear blueprint for launching your career faster with this flexible, adult-friendly path. You'll find the link for the description below, and I will also pin it down in the comments. Hey, look, if you have been holding back because of rigid schedules, take this as your sign. Your timeline doesn't have to hold you back anymore. Hey, so go ahead and check out that video. I mean, it could be the first real step towards your career and the life that you have been wanting. Well, all right, folks, I hope that today we helped you see how flexible learning could make surgical tech training possible for your situation. Now, if you found it helpful, then please give it a like. It really helps more people discover our information. And hey, do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more practical advice on starting your surgical tech career. And as always, until next time, this is Landon, signing off. Take care.